Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Tyler, and yes, you guys read the title, you guys saw the thumbnail. We are doing part 9 of What If Kakashi Adopted Naruto, because you guys not one hit the like goal, but two, all of a sudden this series just got a massive blow up, and it blew up my channel to 29.6 subscribers. Or 29.6 thousand. Yeah, you guys get what I mean. But anyways, also the like goal was also hit, so you know what, might as well just continue the series since I do feel like it's an appropriate time. And with that being said, let's get right into the intro.
Hey, collecting rings like a Sonic. Bitches wanna party. My wrist getting heavy. Got 'em on a diet, yeah. Flex like I'm Hogan. Yo, bitch coming over. We respect.
Now, before we get into the actual story, I would very much like to establish this new version of Boruto, since he would be kinda different from his canon self in this version. Since instead of being a fat, sweaty, dumb loser, he's actually going to be a lot more calmer and understanding, and overall a lot more likable, because whenever Naruto is out being a Hokage, Kakashi is actually going to be around to train Boruto. Now, the reason why I do think Boruto and Kakashi would train with each other is because, one, Kakashi is Naruto's grandfather, essentially, and Kakashi would be visiting his residence and talking to Boruto, and eventually this would lead into Boruto being under Kakashi's wing, and it's for the same reasons that Boruto went under Sasuke's wing. One, he thinks he's cool, and two, he hates Naruto and he thinks he's a fat loser, so he wants to train to actually prove himself. Kakashi could also see potential in Boruto, which for the sake of the video, we'll say he does. And so Boruto would be trained under the likes of Kakashi, and this would mean Boruto would at least scale above his canon self, since by the time we get to that point, he would be a lot more stronger because he would be training a lot more with someone like Kakashi. But that's really in the near future. Let's focus on the current time and where we are at. Boruto would be about 6 when Kakashi decides to take him as his pupil, and this Kakashi still has his Sharingan, if you guys didn't remember, which is just a quick side note. But anyways, Kakashi would begin to train Boruto like how he trained Naruto, and we do know that Boruto's nature affinities are water, lightning, and wind, which will still be present here, but we will say when Kakashi helps Boruto discover those nature affinities, Boruto at first would discover lightning. Kakashi would teach him the basics on how to utilize these affinities, and this gives Kakashi a flashback to when he used to train Naruto, and it's a subtle change but a nice little reminiscing moment for the GOAT Kakashi. Now, Boruto here I do believe would eventually talk to Kakashi and question why his dad is never around and stuff, which Kakashi answers how Naruto is the leader of his village and has a lot of responsibility, and in this timeline, since one, Boruto is a lot younger and doesn't have as much of a grudge against his father as his older self, and Kakashi being a much more intelligent person and being a very honest person as well, I feel like Boruto would actually understand that his dad has stuff to do, and instead of being a spurg about the situation, he would actually understand and acknowledge what his dad is doing for the village, and he would manage to mature from this. So Boruto doesn't have to be a little bitch to Naruto and around everyone, but rather a calm, collected, and powerful ninja who would just want to achieve strength, similar to someone like Minato or even Kakashi himself. And I do feel like Boruto would want to be like Kakashi since, you know, he's kind of grown on him. And since Naruto isn't really around for someone for Boruto to look up to, it's really Kakashi left. And I do feel like Boruto would want to look up to Kakashi, and I do feel like instead of, you know, wanting to be Hokage, I still feel like he would have the same motives as his canon self. And what I mean by that is the specific motive to actually prove himself to not just be looked at the Hokage's son, but rather a powerful ninja in his own right, which I do feel like is good, but again, Boruto's other qualities were just awful, so I couldn't really resonate with that. But this more mature Boruto I can resonate with. Now, with that being said, this Boruto would still have that similar motive, and he and Kakashi would just keep on training. This would give the copy ninja deja vu as well, since this reminds him of the moment where Naruto established to become Hokage, but it's different at the same time since Boruto doesn't want to be the Hokage, but rather gain respect, and again, this is a little thing to show that Boruto is not like Naruto. Kakashi here would still have his purple lightning, but with his Sharingan making him an even deadlier opponent. Now, Boruto would still have all of his canon jutsu, but he would also have an addition of being able to generate lightning from his palms by combining, you know, that Hyuga Taijutsu with his lightning chakra affinity. Now, let's move a little forward where the Shin Saga would start, and this time Kakashi and Boruto would be training, and when all of a sudden they would hear a sudden attack occur not too far from them, and the two rush and they see Shin fighting the likes of Sarada and Chocho. Kakashi would quickly intercept a blow that seemingly was about to kill Sarada, while Boruto would make shadow clones and utilize his wind style style Gale Palm to boost him towards Shin and hit the Walmart Uchiha with a Palm Strike and follow up with generating lightning from his pawns to electrocute him. Shin would be completely fine and note how the boy caught him by surprise, and he's warning him and Kakashi to stand down or he's not going to be playing nice anymore. Kakashi and Boruto both smirk as they prepare to charge at Shin, with Kakashi already having a Sharingan out. He already put it out before he even met Shin because he knew there was something dangerous going on. But in the nick of time, as Kakashi and Boruto are getting ready to fight, Naruto appears and says how he can take care of things, and Boruto is a little hesitant, but Boruto remembers what Kakashi said to him years ago, and Boruto simply accepts his father's help, but he promises that he will cover his back. They prepare to face Shin, and this leads into Shin facing Naruto, Boruto, and Kakashi, but losing and then retreating, and as they head out, they would be suddenly attacked by Shin again. But thanks to Kakashi having a Sharingan out and being aware of things around him, he would be able to perceive the magnets in time and use a large Kamui vortex to suck in most of the magnets. Keep in mind I said most and not all of them because the rest that wouldn't be sucked into the Kamui would be coming at Naruto, but luckily Naruto would just use Kurama to cover the magnets, or covering the ninja from the magnets, my bad. But anyway, Sasuke would then face down Shin while Kakashi would actually go down to try and help Sasuke face Shin while Naruto and Boruto would be protecting the others. And this would nicely lead into Sakura arriving and punching Shin into the stomach, and then Team 7 reuniting to take down Shin, with the mentor being here this time. As we all know, this leads into Sarada seemingly being captured by Shin, but Sakura at the last second pushing Sarada away, and this leads into Sakura being captured, and this would lead into the group then heading out to go and rescue Sakura. Now, after this portion, things start really playing out similar to the canonical version of events, including Sarada thinking Karin's her mom, which let's just admit, we all hated that, but Boruto and Kakashi would just be extra people hating on Sasuke for this, or seemingly because it's not actually true in the end, but anyways. This would still lead into the final battle against Shin, with Sakura versus Shin occurring, and Kakashi, Sasuke, and Naruto and Boruto taking down the Shin goons, and Sarada still coming in and getting her Sharingan. She would use her Sharingan against Shin, and in the end, Shin would still be defeated by Team 7, Boruto, and Sarada, and Cho-Cho just being there. But yeah, after this arc, we see how Sakura, Sasuke, and Sarada all reunite, and they're a lot more of a happier family than before, and this leads into Naruto and Boruto kind of looking at them and then looking at each other. And this is a little subtle moment that both characters do believe that they can actually take a thing from Sasuke and Sakura's book and actually get along more. Boruto would say to Naruto how he doesn't really talk to him too much, and Naruto says that he hasn't been, the best of fathers, but in the end, Boruto and Naruto are still going to be out for each other and still love each other in the end. So yeah, it's a nice little moment here, especially since this is just a lot better than the canon version of Boruto, because there's no, I hate my dad type beat. And, it's a lot more fixed here, and I honestly really like that. Now, the other arcs in Boruto, I really don't care about, like bootleg Yagura and like Target version of Kisame. I don't care about that. I'm sorry, I really don't care. So we're just gonna skip past that and head into the Boruto movie. Now, the start of the movie would be played out similar to in canon, and by the beginning, I do mean the Killer Bee and Sasuke portion of the story. And things are kind of the same up until the Chunin exams roll around, besides, Boruto's personality change. And also, before the Chunin exams, Kakashi, in preparation for the exams, would help Boruto learn the Rasengan, which at first Boruto wouldn't be able to get down, but that's just because he isn't aware of his vanishing Rasengan yet. Boruto wouldn't be using the ninja tools here since he has no reason to, and nicely declined the offer. With this happening, there will be no fat loser watching with his trash tools, and we can have a legit Chunin exams. And because of this Boruto being a lot more powerful than his canon self, he isn't going to get jobbed by people like Shikamaru's son or Killer Bee's son. Alright, let's just get into the exam. The first part of the exams would play out similar to in canon, and the second exam would be a little bit more difficult for Boruto and the rest of his team. However, I do feel like he would still come out on top. We'll just say thanks to Boruto's physical stats being far better than his canon self, and also having a new ability, aka the lightning clones, he actually catches the trio off guard, and this allows Sarada, Mizuki, and Boruto to go in for a full team attack, and they would defeat the Mist Ninja and collect the flags. This would then lead into the final rounds of the Chunin exams, and Boruto versus Killer Bee's son, which I do feel like Boruto would win via blitzing him with a lightning shuriken that blows up in his face and electrocutes him, leaving him immobile. Next would be Shikadai versus Boruto, which is where Boruto would reveal a new strategy to defeat him, which isn't cheating this time. He would make 3 clones, and one of those clones makes a water wall jutsu, while the 2 other clones use a Gale Palm to enhance the water wall into a spiraling sea. which forces Shikadai to move away, and he would then attempt shadow possession on Boruto, and he seemingly catches him, but it seems like he only caught the 3 clones. Where's the real Boruto? Well, he's actually in the air, and he managed to get up there while the spiraling wave of water distracted Shikadai. That Boruto in the air would then make 2 other clones mid-air to boost him to Shikadai, and then slam him with a kick to the head, which leads into Shikadai being unconscious and Boruto winning the match. And instead of Naruto dropping down to say that Boruto is disqualified, he drops down to congratulate Boruto on winning his 2nd round and to keep on winning and win it home for him. And with that being said, Naruto and Boruto would then do a little, a little bro fist, you know what I'm saying? And then this would lead into the Chunin exams being abruptly interrupted by Momoshiki. This part of the story plays out pretty similar, with Boruto getting his outfit this time destroyed by trying to defend his dad, and in the end, Naruto would be kidnapped, and this would lead into the 5 Kage, Sasuke, Boruto, and Kakashi this time heading out to rescue him. Now in this timeline, Kakashi would assist the 5 Kage in taking down base Momoshiki and then Kinshiki, or whichever order it was, but regardless, Momoshiki would fuse with Kinshiki and bop the 5 Kage and Kakashi, but Kakashi would actually be surviving barely here and actually be conscious, and Boruto would be watching, hoping his dad is alright, and this would lead into Sasuke and Naruto versus Momoshiki, and then eventually, yes, you guessed it, Boruto versus Momoshiki, but this time Kakashi would have just recovered enough chakra to actually join Boruto in the fight. And so it would be a 2v1, Boruto and Kakashi against Momoshiki. Kakashi and Boruto setting up combos with one another, and when Boruto clones are getting harmed by Momoshiki, Momoshiki would get tagged by lightning since it was a lightning clone, and Momoshiki would then say screw it, and this would lead into the Momoshiki-Boruto clash that's pretty iconic, and Kakashi would use his last bit of chakra to Kamui Momoshiki's arm, which distracts the Otsutsuki, allowing Boruto to atomize him completely without a struggle. And so this concludes the Momoshiki arc and part 9 of What If Kakashi Adopted Naruto. Now, with this, I'm gonna have to read the manga or watch the anime, so what do you guys suggest? Should I read it, watch it? What do you guys think? With that being said, part 10 will be in the near future, and peace out, guys.